It seems I'm writing rather longer poems. My rule used to be that it had to fit on a page, but then I started to realize as a rule, anything can fit on a page. Anything. Think about it. Anyway, Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. I posted Anachronism number 5038 to the Anachronisms blog. It's called Being Deprived of Your Own Property Renders a Very Special Sense of Helplessness. Microsoft, and this is unfortunately too true of a story. It's almost depressing to even read. Microsoft should be ashamed, as corporations so often are. 1 year ago this month, I had my service suspended on the current, at that time, $10 per month iteration of a Microsoft Office account. MS 365, I guess it's called. No warning whatsoever. Since then, I've spent over 80 hours online trying to get my account back. I've read and reread their guidelines, and most of all, I've tried very hard to get a clear answer on what it was exactly that merited such a suspension. I have received no information regarding why, except a list in the end of vague reasons given that are in no way even related to each other at times. I even had to dispute with my bank the extra $10 a month that Microsoft stole from my bank account for 4 months after they suspended my account. Just taking my money, just suspend my account with no warning, keep taking my money for 4 months. The only reason they stopped is because they couldn't take any more out. There was no money there. During the 80-some-odd hours I worked with Microsoft representatives to get access to my files in OneDrive, each person with whom I spoke, online or sometimes on the telephone, assured me with confidence that I would soon get access to all of my files, except for a file that was purported... the original message I got was, except for a file that was purportedly taken out of my drive, that I was told directly after the suspension transpired, which apparently was a violation, they thought. They said. Couldn't have been. I read the rules. Which I was fine with. Whatever file it was that so claimed my account being taken from me, and as if I even had the time to do this. I will continue to fight this absurd screwing this monopoly has so successfully given me. I'm fine with it being gone. I certainly didn't upload anything intentionally that fits any problem in the guidelines for storage, nor was I sharing any of the files in my entire drive, save for a couple of smaller files that I shared with my partner, which only included our own silly stuff and all of the information we'd been through thus far toward getting a citizenship here in the United States so that he can live with me. I lost all that, all of my material possessions. I lost all of my material possessions when I was 50 years old. About a year after I'd been evicted from my home of 13 years. I could no longer pay for the storage until that held them all, storage unit that held them all, which was, mind you, all I could take from my old apartment before being assaulted by my old property manager. All of those possessions that I had still managed to hold on to were then apparently auctioned off. I miss none of these things much, except perhaps the hundreds of books of poetry that sat up on the shelves, filled with the books that I'd read in their entireties. These books always served as a backdrop behind me or whoever was sitting on my old living room couch at any given time. Because for one thing, it turns out I'm not that materialistic. But also, all my old photographs I'd taken, and those my grandmother had given me, and my dozens of journals and the 4 or 5 boxes of flat memorabilia that I had dragged with me from place to place over the years were photographed and made into electronic files that I could keep, all of which were in my Microsoft OneDrive, for which I paid a monthly subscription for many years. Now I have access to none of that. And which even after the 80-something hours working with reps in earnest to help me retrieve these files, everyone was really nice. And positive, and said I would get my stuff back. And the latest letter I received from Microsoft on the subject says, and this was just very recently, the decision is final, suspension upheld, and I still have no idea why. Each person I chatted with online or spoke with on the telephone said I'd get it all back. These impressions of the substance left from a life that had lasted more than half a century now approaching 60 years. It isn't much, but they were mine. They were me. And I actually trusted Microsoft, for whom I've spent or have been the primary responsible person who has helped them accrue tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. For each product, I've been responsible for whomever I worked, upgrading products or purchasing from them, as well as for each personal product I've actually used myself, practically since the inception of Windows. How does one begin to fight such a monster, even over such vague bullshit claims, when I am just a poor man made much poorer by their heinous act? A monster with hands inside of my old and brand new laptops in such ways that almost no action that those machines make, don't pass through them in some way. I will fight this, even though to build up to getting in touch each time is a war I have with anxiety. But I will keep trying, if for no other reason than the corruption and tone-deaf customer service that has become the standard. If anyone has even the slightest educated notion of what I should do next that might help, please. I'm an easy person with whom to get in touch. But right now, I'm at a loss, stalling too long until my next attempt of getting all I physically have of my history, spanning just a few short decades of nothing but what are to me the most important details of it.